What's going on YouTube, it's Mark here bringing you another video. Just quickly before we get into the actual video itself, I'd just like to say I appreciate the support I received on my first upload in over 2 years. If you are watching this video and haven't already watched that, make sure you go check that out. In that video I was showing my progression in my first 7 days from switching from console or controller to PC or keyboard and mouse. In that video I made a lot of improvements, and in the comments down below I did get a few comments saying your aim's got a lot better over the 7 days, or my aim isn't as good as yours, which I doubt is true, but I did notice myself my aim had improved quite a lot. So in this video I want to go through some tips of what I did to improve my aim in the first 7 days, with a few more other tips you could incorporate, because again a couple of people did mention I can't do Kovacs, I'm on console or controller, what else can I do? So this video is going to be perfect for you lot as well as all my PC players. Before you get into trying to do any maps, any Kovacs, the first tip I can give is you want to choose the best sensitivity for you. With your sensitivity, a lot of people may put it too high to cope with being able to build fast, but this comes at a cost, and this can be a cost to your aim, because with a lower sensitivity you are going to have a better aim as you can be more precise of where you are aiming. So when I was first selecting my sensitivity, I wanted to follow what the pros use, because generally pros are using what's best, hence why they're the best in the game. So there's a website called prosettings.com where you can go and find pretty much any pro Fortnite player's settings that they use. I'm going to flash some of them settings on screen that you can see. Some are controller players, so you can maybe try use their sensitivity, and some are obviously pro PC players that I'm showing. Some pros use higher sense, some use lower. It's all about finding a pro and maybe trying out their sensitivity. If you'd rather lower sensitivity, maybe you can use something similar to what one of these pros use, and maybe you can try a higher one. But it's all about getting a sensitivity you're comfortable with, as it's better to have as low as possible whilst not affecting your building, and perhaps adjusting your building to your new lower sensitivity. Once you've decided your sensitivity, the absolute best thing I can really say you can do is using Kovacs. So again, controller players, I did say later in the video I will be getting to some tips on what you can do to improve, but this is the only tip dedicated specifically for keyboard and mouse players. Kovacs, if you didn't know, is a game for around £6 you can get on the Steam store. It is effectively where lots of people have gone there, created custom maps, and it's a good way to practice where you aim on the screen with your mouse. So Kovacs has different maps. I will leave the name of all the maps I'm using in this video just on screen somewhere, so you just go on the online scenarios and go search them up for yourself and try them out. The best map I can recommend is Tile Frenzy, and that is what the majority of Kovacs users will use. This is the best thing you can do for your shotgun aim, as with your shotgun you want to be able to flick quickly onto the target and shoot, not have to recenter, and typically with a shotgun if you miss your first shot you may possibly be dead. So that's why Tile Frenzy is probably the main map you're going to want to use once you do get Kovacs. Other than that, I will show some other maps in the background that you can use, because Kovacs can be used for tracking, which can be useful for your SMG shot or even your AR shot. When you are doing Kovacs, be sure to track your high scores, and you should see as you progress your high scores should get better. The next tip I want to get into, which is going to be for you controller players as well as even PC players can do this, is a map called SKAAVOK, which is a creative map, and if you did notice that is Kovacs backwards, and this is a map that's been made to mimic Kovacs the best it can. The code I am going to leave down below as well as on screen, so you can go into this map and try it out for yourself. There are lots of things you can do to practice on this map, but I'm only going to show you 2 examples of what you can do that I find most useful. The first one, again, as I just said about Kovacs, is Tile Frenzy. This is the best one you can realistically do, because you're going to practice with your snapshot. In the clip you're going to see I'm not using a shotgun, so how's that going to help my shotgun aim? But again, like I'm doing, I'm only clicking once, snapping between the targets and just clicking once. To get better at this, you want to just move faster. You don't want to move off aim, and gradually you're going to potentially struggle without the aim assist if you're on controller or even on keyboard and mouse. You may overstep the mark where you may move past it and you may not land straight on it every time. All I'd recommend is take your time, and as you get better you can increase the speed that you're trying to move between the targets. To make this harder again, you can move further away. There are settings to be at the closest, at mid-range or at long range. I'd probably recommend you do close range more than anything, especially if you're using this to practice your shotgun aim, which is what you should be using this for. Then controller players may think, well, I've got no aim assist, what's going to happen? But if you can practice centering well, so that means moving from target to target without aiming in, when it then comes to in real game, when you can center well, but then aim in with your aim assist, you're going to be beaming kids and sapping onto people, and you're going to be a top player. The second section I'm going to talk about in this video that I find the most useful is called Bounce 360. This section uses zombies being spawned consistently and then bounce pads to bounce them around the map. You'll be centered in the middle and they won't just spawn in front of you, but again in 360 degrees, so all around you. These zombies are obviously going to be moving faster than a normal person, so it's not fully realistic, but it's pretty close. You can practice using your shotgun to shoot them, you can practice using your AR, or even your SMG. You can mix up by practicing aiming in, if that's what you want to do, or not aiming in. Of course not aiming in is going to be harder, but if you practice a harder thing, when it comes to aiming in, you're going to find it easier. I also like to be able to practice shooting with my shotgun and then quickly changing to my SMG. Some of the background footage you are going to see what I'm finding useful, and I'm sure you will find this useful too. As again, this mimics in Kovacs, where in Kovacs we could use trackers to directly track, but using zombies on the screen being bounced around fast to track. So once you incorporate these two sections of the map in particular into your training routine, I'm sure your aim is going to improve. But again, this map is massive, so I'd be sure to go check out the other sections of the map and you may find something that works for you even better. The next aiming tip I want to get into for this video is the dual aiming map. Again, this is another thing I did touch on in my previous 7-day progression, so if you haven't watched that, be sure to go check that out, as I did say at the start of the video. But the dual aiming map isn't anything fancy as such, but you're getting the most realistic practice you can get at aiming. All you want to do is find a friend. I'm sure plenty of you've got friends out there that are also playing Fortnite and want to get better, so you both can get better at the same time, and you can also have a bit of a laugh, have a bit of a competition who can kill who first as such. In this map you can set your health to be as low as 500 or as high as 10,000. Normally 2,000 is a sweet spot, and you can change up what you're doing so you don't get too bored. The reason this map is so realistic is on Kovacs or on SKAAVOK, the previous map we just talked about, you are shooting still targets. As for the dual aiming map, you're aiming at an actual person, so his movements, which are going to be somewhat natural to a normal person's movement, is the best practice you can get. Just be sure to change it up. Don't always be in the same box, because there are multiple options on this map. Again, the map code is going to be down below. And change up the weapons. If your AR shot is much worse than your SMG and shotgun, practice with the AR. Again, you don't need to aim in, just do not aim in and practice that centering. By that I mean, as the person moves, you want to keep it in the center of your aim at all times, and as you get better, aim higher, because as we all know, it's frustrating as hell to die to a headshot, but that's the way you're going to kill people faster. And the very last tip I want to give is play. No matter how much you practice all these aim training maps or exercises that I've gave, the best tip you can do is play. This may be SOM wars, this may be customs, this may be arena, this may be even normal public matches. But nothing is going to compare and be as realistic as the real game itself. The dual aiming map is as close as you're going to get, but you're not always going to be confined into a small box with a cone or just a small box in general. There's going to be times where you got to edit through a wall and make a shot, and you cannot really practice this unless you're playing real people in a real game setting. So, you know, Fortnite's all about playing, having fun, as well as the practicing element. So if you do all these other 3 tips that I have gave earlier on in the video, go into a real game and try to see how much you've improved. I'm sure you will have over time after you have done what I have said in this video. And you're going to reap the benefits, as well as just playing more, you are going to get better. So that is going to be all for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did and you did find the tips useful, be sure to drop a like and drop a comment down below to let me know. And if there were maybe a tip that you do that you think I missed out, be sure to comment that as well and let me know, and I may be able to incorporate that into my daily routine so I can hopefully improve my aim even more. As well as that, be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with my Fortnite progression and for future tip videos and other Fortnite orientated, more competitive style videos. But you know, that is going to be all from me, Mark. Until next video, I'll see you in the next one.